Okay, and first of all, dear colleagues, please introduce yourself, introduce the event, maybe in some historical perspective, because you start from small one and now it's also rather big one.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, click yours here. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I think. Okay. So again we are. Okay, I gonna be here a little bit. Yes.
That's okay.
Okay. I think we are good. So we are, first of all, we are Techsauce, Techsauce Media, or if that what the people know us from the beginning. So we do provide media content about the tech, startup, innovation, business, in both in Thai language, we come from Thailand, and then the English, we have English available too. So this is how we start the company, Techsauce, and then other than the media portal, we also have the Techsauce Startup Directory, and we also have the Techsauce Startup Report. So we have been collecting all of the data about the Thailand tech startup ecosystem. We do provide all of this information. So if you guys need information about the startup in Thailand, the investor in Thailand, how many deals of the startup happened in Thailand, so you can go check it out at our Techsauce Startup Techsauce Directory. Yeah. So now, after then the media and then the startup report or directory, here we are. We have basically, I would like to start from the event. Go back to 2012, we were having the started up event. The first startup meeting in Thailand in 2012, around like 200 people, not more than that. That's how we started up 2012, and then we have been doing it all the time up until, of course, 2019. You can see our audience growing every year till right before COVID. Yes, and then of course in 2020, that is when the COVID come, the pandemic. So that year we were turning our event into the virtual event, which is the first virtual event in Thailand at that time, and we call Techsauce Virtual Summit, 2020. So we were having everything virtual online, to continue our ecosystem support and ecosystem activity to run, to keep going. And then on 2021 we were skipped for 1 year, and then we come back again on the 2022, which is the Techsauce Global Summit. In this year, it's the first time that we organize our event in the if you see this
theater.
In the movie theater. In the movie theater. This is the IMAX. The movie theater IMAX in Thailand. So you can see the screen is big, like 5 floors of the building, and this is the biggest theater in Bangkok. We will organize it here. So we have learned many things during the COVID. This time, this year we did not come back and make it big in the beginning. We kind of like try. Of course, that 2020 the COVID is not disappeared, or in Southeast Asia we still 50% of it. So that time we were kind of like adapting, and our team have been learning about the resilience over year.
Because of the limited budget, because during that time it's quite hard to ask the sponsor to get funding. So what we're trying to do is we try to find the best venue and the best location that we can support our community. So we have finalized that, okay, for the exhibition zone we can use the law space, but it's quite hard for us if we have to build the conference inside the law space. So what we're trying to do is we put all of the conference into the movie theater. So can help us to reduce the cost. So this is the key learning point that we have is the adaptability, and this is the most important thing. So we're trying to create the solution to meet all key stakeholder expectations. So this is also 2012,
20, yeah, in the movie
2022.
22, yeah.
Yes,
in the
yeah.
movie theater area, yeah. So after COVID, we were basically, of course, 2022, we have gathered more than 10,000 attendees around the world. It's quite impressive for us that time because it's kind of like I would say 80% of my team never done the physical event before because many of them joined.
We formed a new team.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a new team because we joined, me too as well actually. I joined 2020 when I joined. Is COVID happened, so my first event was the Techsauce virtual event on 2020, and this is my physical event. So all of our team have been learning a lot during the COVID. So it's kind of like a very quite impressive number for us, and glad to see that all of our startup community is still very strong and trust each other. So we come back to make more than 750 business matching, yeah, from around the world in Thailand on 2022, which is last year. And yeah, so this year is just happening on the last August, yeah, in the 2-day event. Right now we basically come back to the exhibition hall in the downtown Bangkok. The sizing was kind of like a 2 standard football field, yeah, so it's quite big this time. So we were, yeah, that happened a couple of months ago, and yeah, we were happy with all of the result. And so this year is kind of like everybody come back to almost 100%. Everybody fly to Bangkok. We were gathering more than 15,000 people around the world, and more than 1,300 startups from around the world coming to join us as well, both like in terms of individually startup or country pavilion. We have many country pavilion from Europe or the big country in America, in Asia. So we were having them back again. So it's quite like everybody can feel like, okay, in our Asia startup ecosystem now we are going back again, and we are ready for the new chapter. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just was thinking about that this number is not available for each rock star, you know, or a number of participants, so doing a great job. Thank you for the intro. Now I have a few questions, some of them rather controversial, and the first one I think is really controversial. As you've been organizer and doing business around events, I understand you feel like the community needs having some events, but why? Why do you think startup ecosystem needs to happen, like the events happen?
Yeah, I think that there are three reasons. When we mention about the event, I do not want to say that it's okay, we are focusing on the physical event, but the core value that we try to propose and support the community is the most important thing. So the first one is why we have the event, because we would like to create the space and the space that help the small people to meet the investor, to meet the big corporate. Because as we have known that the big corporate, they have a lot of budget, they can spend a lot of money to have their own event. But it's quite hard to for the startup, for the small people who have chance to create more visibility by themselves. So what we're trying to do is we use the media portal to help them to promote the startup. But at the same time, event is a great opportunity for them as well to exhibit. So the first one is create an opportunity for small people. And the second one, I think, is come back to our root, is come back to our core value that what we want to contribute to our society. I think that all of the community builder here maybe have the different objective, have the different goal. But at Techsauce, we want to help Thailand. We want to drive Thailand to become the digital gateway of Southeast Asia. So if we have the event, it can help us to attract the investment from abroad to invest in the Thai startup community. And at the same time, it will be the iconic stage for the startup to grow regional as well. So I think that the second answer is we should come back to our main objective of our communities. And the last one is, I think, trust. Commitment is very important. If you want to engage with a startup, face-to-face engagement is very important. Build trust by not just saying, but make it happen, and also have the strong commitment to support the startup. We are staying here like almost 12 years already. So I think that the commitment and continuously support is the most important thing.
Thanks. I want to stress how long run their plans are sounding, that like attracting some investment and building reputation of the country. That's very nice. Still, after my Web Summit experience, I have a question. What do you think, how do you feel? Is it more important to have one very big, very great event, or to make more smaller events? Because it's usually you have to manage this balance.
Yeah, and actually it depends on who is your audience, who you organize the event for. So of course, we as Techsauce, we think about this all the time, who we would like to give the most benefit to. It depends. So of course, the big event can create a gigantic dynamic. So it can include the startup, the corporate, the investor, even the government at the same time. So if you want your ecosystem kind of like a gather together and make a real impact in terms of like the big picture, then of course the big event is required. So but if you would like something like more solid, if you would like to make the startup really be able to raise funds from the VC, or really want to support the startup to be able to fire how can partner. And of course this time you can happen in the small event like a business matching. Yeah, we have run a lot of business matching during the year, maybe the one per quarter, sometimes even one per month. So it can be like, okay, sometimes it's for the sustainability startup, for the AI or learning machine startup or something like this, and we match them directly with the partner that they need or the VC that they want. So this can, with small event, can basically it's easy for them to make a match more than a big event. So as I say that depend on what your objective and who you want to give the benefit to. You need both. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And one more question about the balance. And now it's more about balance between developing and investing in local startup community and bringing some global colleagues to your local community. How to balance it? If we have some international event, sure we should have some focus. Are you more concentrating on local teams, startups and investors, or more bringing from outside?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Yes, we have known that if we organize the big event, it's very hard for us to serve everyone and support everyone in the community. But what we're trying to do is, we believe in the people first and people-centric. It is very most important thing. So what we're trying to do is we will segment all of the key stakeholders and grouping it together. And after that, we will assign a team. For example, like International Pavilion will taken care by the business development team. For the Thai startup, it will be engaged by another team. It's called partnership team, for example. And after that, what we're trying to do is we will let them interview and ask what is their objective, what is their need. And after that, we will decide the activity inside the Techsauce Global Summit to serve each key stakeholder. But yeah, we have known that we cannot serve everyone 100% expectation. So we create a whole week activities. Like Techsauce Global Summit, we have 2 days or maybe 3 days, but you can host a side event before and after. Because some country, they say that they want to meet the big corporate, but some startup, some country, they say that they want to meet the local investor in Thailand. So they have a different the requirement. So we're trying to create a side event to meet each country. And at the same time, for Thai startup, local community in Thailand, we're trying to help them to meet the international VC as much as we can. If we cannot connect them together at the Techsauce Global Summit, we will ask them, we will trying to help them like a follow-up email and follow-up activities. Maybe it cannot just like finish at the Techsauce Global Summit, but we can do it later. For example, like last week, before I come to this event, there is a business matching session. It's called that we help and support the Canadian startup. They would like to meet the big corporate in Thailand, and because of the schedule, they cannot meet each other. So what we're trying to do is I ask them, if you are available, we can try to create a virtual business matching. Whether you go back to the Canada, we can help you and trying to support them. So I think that is like a long-term relationship. It's not just at the Techsauce Global Summit.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, that's wise.
But it takes a lot of effort actually.
Yeah, sure. Being
but
also an organizer, I understand, like, keeping in mind not just one focus, it's always about balancing and always about more people involved to be responsible for each area of responsibility. So yeah, that's lots of work to do. Mm-hmm. That's it. Tell us a little bit more about some historical perspective. I'm very interested how your measurement of success, some KPIs evolved during the event, during the doing the event each year. Because when you have 200 people, it's one set of KPIs. When you're having an event with such numbers, it's another. How was it evolving?
We can measure if we know that what we want to measure. It's the most important.
Sure.
So sometimes when we show this number, I think it's come back to our company objective. Actually, it's not the Techsauce Global Summit objective. At the end of each year, we decide that what is our objective, why we have to build Thailand to become the digital gateway of Southeast Asia, both inbound and also outbound. So from this objective and this, we will decide strategy. And Techsauce Global Summit is just a platform, it's just a tool. So we will create the KPI to align with this, with the company objective. So we will break down what is a KPI. For example, like at Techsauce Global Summit, how many companies from international can come to Techsauce Global Summit, exhibit at Techsauce Global Summit, and at the same time, after that, how many business matching that we can help and support them. This is for the inbound case. But for outbound, it's quite a challenge at this moment because of the funding winter. So we, how can we help Thai startup to grow regionally? Actually, not just only Thailand, but also from Indonesia as well, from the other country. So this is the most challenging part that we are trying to think about how can we measure the success of this case. So this is one of the activity that we plan to do next year.
Maybe a little bit connected with this question. Are you planning further to grow the event or to do maybe some franchise and to make more events under this brand happened?
Pardon?
But what are your plans in the future to grow up this event, doing it even bigger, or to copy not maybe the same, but pretty close format and do it in, I don't know, maybe different places?
In Thai market, I think it's no need to be like bigger than this. I think it's big enough already.
Yeah.
And but what we're trying to do is we will have like a meetup, more meetup with the communities every month, every 2 months, because we have the new space that called Next Tech Zone at the Siam Paragon, which is one of in the center of the Bangkok.
Downtown.
Yeah, she can share you more
Like
details.
a downtown mall. It's kind of like that area is easy to access, and it's quite very dynamic because one of our leading mall they are right now focusing in the tech industry. So of course at Techsauce we have been organized a huge event But of course, I understand that many audience, they kind of like, if you say that, okay, they might be introvert, they don't like a big event, but sometimes the small companies or like a very early stage startup, they are kind of like, oh, they don't want to go to like a big event and talk to everybody. They require a small, like a
deep
more manual
engagement.
work.
Yeah, deep
more engagement. So we now in this year we get another area that will make us be able to organize small event. Yeah, like to be engaged closer to the community, our ecosystem, and we can do more often. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's nice.
and we also planning to set up like a site event, maybe in Indonesia or Vietnam. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to us if you are like a local community in that country.
Yeah.
We would like to work and collaborate with you guys.
I think you have right people in the audience to find some partners maybe.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Could you please tell us maybe about some success stories of matchmaking people, maybe startups and investors, or startups or corporates during the event? How you know about that story? Because of course lots of meeting is happening, but how you measure the success? How you know about that something happening because of your conference?
This is a really good question. Can you go to the next slide? We some startup that they mention and they come back to us that they can raise fund from our event. But I don't want to mention the name at this moment because there are like too many startups. But what we're trying to do is this year we just announced the mission to collaborate and work together with 9 key stakeholders. They are like private sector, they are the public sector in Thailand, and also like looking for the partner from international as well to join this mission. So from this one, I think that in the past it's quite hard for us to know that this startup can get funding from this VC. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to create the platform and infrastructure, and yeah, online platform also help us a lot. So we are looking for the tool to help us to follow up and checking what is activities that come from Techsauce, and also like work with the private sector who have on board on this platform. So we are developing the solution, trying to track all of the startups who are on our platform, and so the VC as well. But all of the key stakeholders that show on this slide, they are really happy to support and very active in this community to develop this platform together.
So am I getting you right? You're asking sponsors like manually what happened, and that's why you know some stories about good networking.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I think I'm asking the last question, and I want the audience also to ask whenever they want. The last question will be not about business, but your personal motivation. Why are you doing the event? Why are you such a business? What motivates your as a person?
I'm a small people before, and actually until now I'm still small people. I think that if we don't have the ecosystem builder in Thailand, I think that nobody will help us.
Nobody.
So if we start to stand up by ourselves, I believe that we can help the others. So we believe that there is a biggest pain point in the startup community in Thailand. So we want to see the small people from Thailand to grow up internationally. So this is our dream.
Yeah, of course. As Mimi said, that in the ecosystem, no ecosystem is perfect and can run by itself. This is the law of nature. And so, of course, someone need to be able to gather the key stakeholder in the ecosystem and make them benefit to each other. And yeah, that's why we are actually, so we call ourselves we are the tech ecosystem builder. Yeah, we call it that. All of our activity, all of our service is meant to serve this goal, and most make us as a Techsauce employee or as a organizer is when somebody come to you and say, hey, I met the investor and I raised fund from your event, or I got the job from your event, or I be able to get a great opportunity from your event. That really make us know what we are doing, and that's why we still keep doing it.
That's nice. In my native language, we have not a proverb, but talking about proactive people, like when you can't fight the challenge, just become a leader and make it yourself. So yeah, I totally understand you. Okay, colleagues, we have some time for questions. Who do you want to ask? Techsauce team. Yeah, awesome.
My question is, how can you maximize the community impact while you're on budget constraints and tight budgets and so on? It's a very hard balance. So how can you manage doing this balance?
Do you want to answer first?
Yeah.
Frankly speaking, like at Techsauce Global Summit, in terms of the GP, the gross profit is not higher. If you want to like get the GP, you could get the high GP, I think that you should do the other things, not the Techsauce Global Summit. But what we are trying to balance is, I think that the most important thing is because we have like a track record that in terms of the cost projection, how much that we have to spend for each year. I think that the financial projection, not just only at for this event, but in terms of the overall as a company is very important. So we're trying to forecast the revenue based on the economic crisis, for example, in this situation, and also estimate the cost that we can control and manage. But at the same time, I think the key success factor is we should simulate the three scenarios: best case, and worst case. I also talked to my business development team that we have to manage the cost, but at the same time, we have to deliver the best customer experience as well. So we will not compromise in terms of the customer experience, but what we're trying to manage the cost, it should be related for the other part that is not impact the customer experience. So trying to simulate the scenario as much as you can, and trying to follow and keep on track based on the scenario that you are simulating. So I think it can help us a lot to make it, it's not a big profit actually, but it's enough to survive for the next year.
Yeah.
And you can create the profit from the another business unit, which should be better.
Thank you, Maria. I actually like your answer about why you're doing this. You said you're a small people and you're trying to help small people. Congratulations. I want to ask you, you are an ecosystem builder, and you know that the more events you do, more people get excited about entrepreneurship. And the more people get excited about entrepreneurship, more people want to try to be entrepreneurs. And more people will fail. And how are you educating the ecosystem, government, schools, funders, sponsors, and all these people, how you manage, what all this failure is about, and why these people are failing?
I think that for